So I've heard from many millennials, and you don't even have to be a millennial to have heard this, but today's topic of discussion, since the pandemic and many of you have been stuck with them, is the baby boomers. Are your parents the baby boomers? Were you raised by a baby boomer? Were you birthed by a baby boomer? Are you harassed by a baby boomer? You know, I love the baby boomers, but I call them the baby doom and gloomers, okay? They are the source of contention, depression, recession, because they're all baby boomers that are voting for this. I just would like the millennials to take a moment to recognize the fact that everybody voting for your stimulus or making you wait for it or shutting the government down or turning it on or closing the store or whatever we're doing this week is being done by none other than the good old baby boomers. The debt they're racking up or the checks that they're writing out, they're not going to pay for them, kids. We are, okay? So I have this love-hate relationship with them. And I know a lot of millennials go through this, and I know you've been hit really hard through the pandemic because your parents are like, well, why did you take that career? Because if you would have did this, you would be fine for the pandemic, and why didn't you have that saved? And you think I'm going to help you now? Why don't you get off the couch? And what are you doing on YouTube? And that's like, yeah, I know. And they don't understand a lot of things, and people don't understand why they don't understand things, and there is a huge gap. And in between that gap, guess what there is? The X generation. You know why they call us the X generation? Do you know? Let me explain to you why. So don't let the baby boomers fool you, okay? That they had it so rough, and there was like, 2 horses in a carriage and went uphill in the snow, and they had to go like kill for their food and skin the chickens, because that's not what happened. They were in effect raised by the greatest generation. Their parents, okay, were in a depression, and then their parents were getting interest rates in the bank that were astronomical, okay? Back then you could have families of 6, 7, 8. They had numerous siblings, and let me tell you what they were birthed into. They were birthed into a post-World War, okay? Because World War I was over, okay? It was nothing but money. The country was banging and booming, okay? And then they all went and got jobs. You know where they all got jobs? Let me tell you where they all got jobs. They got these jobs, and this is why they disconnect with you millennials. They got jobs that they married to. They decided to sign their souls over for 30, 40, 50 years. They got like little gold cups like this, like, been here 15, and then they got like another one, like, been here 35, and they're like, yeah, I got these cups. I've been in one company for 35 years, and I've sat in the same place. It's not the millennial way. The millennial wants to be remote. They want to enjoy life. They want to go different places. They want to work by their phone. They want to be independent contractors. There's so many. They want to open businesses. They know that you can work anywhere and make money. They know that there's cryptocurrency. Baby boomers don't even know what cryptocurrency is. Like, forget it. We're just not even going to get into that. This is why they're voting against it, and this is why we're in debt, but that's a whole different kind of conversation. So there's things that they're never going to understand, because baby boomers are between the ages of 57 and 75 right now. And at this point in time, if you're on 57, I hope you have your act together. And if you're 75, I hope you're sitting down kind of chilling, like, playing on the iPad and maybe watching like Maury, or I don't know, or maybe you're going to play a round of golf. I hope you're doing something by now, you know what I mean? Instead of just yelling at the millennials, or maybe you could be helpful to the millennials. Maybe you can sit them down and explain things, but that's not the baby boomer way. No. And I love the baby boomers, but it was a different world back then. And this is what happened when they went in and married these companies for 10, 15, 30 years. They got pensions. Does any millennial know what a pension is? Please comment below if you know what a pension is, okay? Because they virtually don't exist, which is why they call my generation the X generation. Because they took everything away. They X'd it out, okay? X'd it out. Everything the baby boomers got, my generation X'd out. So what's that leave your generation? millennials, forget about it, okay? Okay? Because we got X'd out. There might be a couple of us who maybe are locked into a pension. Do you know what they were getting on returns for their 401ks? They're getting matched at 10, 11, 12%. The amount of money that they were making, the factories were booming, the cars were booming, everything in this country was moving at a different rate, at a different pace. I'm not going to say it was better because technology is taking over many things, and that's where millennials, that's your engine. And the baby boomers don't understand that. They think they do. But, I mean, maybe some of them do, okay? This isn't just my opinion. But it is mere fact that a millennial cannot go out today and go stay married to a company that's going to give them a full pension for after 30 years of service. They don't even exist anymore. They want to set you up with a 401 or a 403, and please sit in your cubicle too and be quiet and get up after you make minimum wage and don't talk. You can piss 3 times a day. It doesn't work for millennials, and that's where the disconnect comes. And that's what, in fact, the things that we're going to be talking about. So, okay, how do we deal with the baby boomer? Because I like to say you can't teach the old dogs new tricks. You can't. You got to respect them for what they were. If they got a roof over your head and they got you this far, thank you, baby boomers. But can you go sit down and play a round of golf? What you need to do now is you need to sit there and say, okay, I now understand that the baby boomers did not grow up with this. They did not grow up with this. Let me tell you what the baby boomers had. It was attached to the wall. It had cords and a round thing, and everybody would wait in line in the house and be like, can they use the phone? If you had a phone. You didn't, if you left the house, guess what? You better look for the street light to go dark to know you have to go back. And that's even true for my generation. So we didn't have mass capability to be plugged in. These phones make money. A lot of the baby boomers do not understand that. You need your phone to make money. There's so many ways, and we're going to discuss that. How many ways you can make money just off your cell phone. So this is my thing. We cannot let the baby boomers get us depressed. We have to respect them for what they are worth, okay? And they are worth a lot. They're your parents, and they're crazy, but you got to understand them too. They have no clue what an SEO is. They have no clue what a TikTok is. TikTok, they're looking for the grandfather clock, and you guys are saying TikTok. They're like, what are you talking about? So now, you got to take it into perspective, and you got to say, okay, you know what? I'm going to take the good from this. Sit down with them. And baby boomers, instead of yelling at these millennials, get a job, get a job, get a job, or why aren't you doing this, and not understanding, why don't you sit down and take time to explain it? Maybe you can understand the difference of why. Millennials, they'll tell you, put your money in the bank and save your money. Okay, millennials, put your money in the bank. I want you to look up how much the interest rate is on the bank. You might as well stick it under the pillow because it's not going to make you any money. But in the baby boomers generation, they made great interest in the banks, and this is how they were taught. But millennials, you're in a different world now. You have to be more aggressive. You have time to be aggressive with your money. Things are changing, money's changing, everything is digital. They did not go through this. So as much as we get frustrated with the baby boomers and baby boomers, you get frustrated with us, we have to close the gap. And that's what Aunt Money Moves is about. Because I understand the generation before the baby boomers. I understand the baby boomer gloomer doomers. I understand the generation after me and the X. And no generation has been hit harder than actually the X. We're known to be the most resilient because the baby boomers, we had no choice. There was nothing left. The baby boomers have consumed everything. And the number one thing that the baby boomers have to remember, and the millennials, is there is going to be no Social Security left. They can keep saying it might be, it's going to go. They've been saying this forever, but why are we even counting on Social Security? Why? Why are you going to count on that if you are between ages of 27 and 40 years old right now? Look at them in the Senate. Look at them in the Congress. Yes, I respect them, but they're baby boomers. They're voting on something they're not going to pay back. So let's collectively agree to move forward and to collaborate and to make those things work from every single generation. And that's what this channel is about. We're going to strategize. We're going to say what we can take from the baby boomer generation. What can we take from the X, the millennials, and how can we make this work in today's times, in today's financial situation, post-pandemic. Hit subscribe. See you soon.